The massive crystalline chambers of the Galactic Tribunal had never witnessed such chaos. What was meant to be a formal declaration of war against the upstart human species had devolved into something the ancient Zephyrians could only describe as unprecedented legal pandemonium. Admiral Kethvar of the Dominion fleet stood at attention before the 7-member tribunal, his ceremonial war crown gleaming under the chamber's ethereal lighting. Behind him, representatives from 43 allied species waited with barely contained anticipation. Today, they would formally authorize the extermination of humanity, a species that had dared to colonize 12 star systems without proper galactic permits. "The charges are clear," announced Tribunal Prime Veltar, her voice resonating through the chamber's acoustic enhancers. "Unauthorized expansion, violation of the Sacred Colonization Accords of 2847, and blatant disregard for established territorial boundaries. The human species has 48 standard hours to evacuate all contested systems or face total annihilation." The assembled delegates murmured their approval. The Rigelians clicked their mandibles in satisfaction. The Centaurian hive mind pulsed with collective agreement. Even the normally pacifist Etherians had voted for war. Humanity had simply gone too far. Then the chamber doors opened with an unexpected hiss. Instead of the expected human military delegation arriving to negotiate terms of surrender, 3 figures walked in wearing identical dark suits, carrying briefcases, and displaying an almost disturbing level of calm confidence. "Your Honors," the lead figure announced, her voice cutting through the murmurs like a plasma blade through tissue paper. "I am Attorney Sarah Chen, representing the Human Colonial Alliance. These are my colleagues, Attorneys Marcus Williams and Priya Patel. We're here to contest these proceedings." Admiral Kethvar's 4 eyes widened in disbelief. "Contest? There is nothing to contest. You will surrender or be destroyed." "Sarah." Chen opened her briefcase with a soft click that somehow seemed to echo ominously throughout the vast chamber. "Actually, Admiral, there's quite a lot to contest. Shall we begin with the jurisdictional issues?" Tribunal Prime Veltar leaned forward, her crystalline features reflecting confusion. "Jurisdictional issues?" "Indeed," Attorney Williams chimed in, producing a thick stack of documents. "The Sacred Colonization Accords of 2847 clearly state in Article 15, subsection C, that territorial disputes must be filed within 50 standard years of the alleged violation. Your complaint was filed 53 years, 4 months, and 17 days after our first colony ship landed on Kepler 442b. The chamber fell silent except for the soft rustling of paper as Attorney Patel distributed copies of relevant legal documents to the stunned tribunal members. Furthermore, Chen continued, "The accords define unauthorized expansion as colonization without proper notification to the Galactic Registry. However, humanity did file proper notification." She produced a data crystal. "Registry filing number 447 Alpha Zeta 9981, submitted on standard date 3.14159.2847. Veltar's voice cracked slightly. That's impossible. The registry shows no such filing." "Ah," smiled Attorney Williams, "but you're checking the main registry database. The filing was submitted to the Emergency Backup Registry, as specified in Protocol 7G for species, establishing first contact during registry maintenance windows." He projected a holographic display showing archived logs. Maintenance was being performed on the main system from standard dates 3.41582.847 through 3.41612847. Admiral Kethvar's ceremonial armor began to emit stress-indicating heat patterns. "This is ridiculous. We came here to declare war, not to listen to paperwork technicalities." "Respectfully, Admiral," Attorney Patel interjected while adjusting her glasses, "you can't declare war on a species that has committed no legal violations. And speaking of declarations of war, has the Dominion fleet filed the proper environmental impact assessments required under the Galactic Warfare Prevention Act of 2961? The Rigelian delegates' mandibles stopped clicking entirely. "Environmental impact," Veltar whispered, Standard procedure, Chen explained matter-of-factly. Any military action affecting more than 3 populated star systems requires a full environmental assessment, a minimum 60-day public comment period, and approval from the Interdimensional Environmental Protection Agency. Attorney Williams was now projecting additional documents. We also note that the Dominion fleet's current battle formation violates the Migratory Space Whale Protection Act, as your armada is currently positioned directly in the path of the annual quantum cetacean migration route. The space whales won't begin migration for another 4 months, protested the Centaurian hive mind representative. True, nodded Attorney Patel, but the law requires formation clearance 6 months in advance to prevent route disruption. You're already 2 months late for proper filing. By this point, steam was literally rising from Admiral Kethvar's armor as his stress levels reached critical peaks. This is insanity. We have fleets, we have weapons, we have the moral authority of 43 civilized species. Sarah Chen closed her briefcase with the same ominous click that had opened it. Admiral, you have fleets positioned in violation of interstellar law, weapons that haven't been properly registered with the Galactic Arms Control Commission, and a coalition that includes the Xerian Empire, which, I should mention, currently has an outstanding warrant for ecological terrorism in the Andromeda sector. She turned to address the tribunal directly. Your Honors, we move for immediate dismissal of all charges against humanity, sanctions against the Dominion fleet for improper military positioning, and compensation for the 17 lawyers we had to transport here at faster-than-light speeds, which, as you know, is billable at triple rates. The silence in the chamber stretched for several long moments. Then Tribunal Prime Veltar slowly lowered her crystalline head into her hands. The tribunal will need to recess for deliberation. 3 hours later, the tribunal returned with a verdict that would be studied in law schools across the galaxy for centuries. Complete exoneration of humanity, a formal apology, and an invitation to join the Galactic Legal Council. Admiral Kethvar was last seen in a nearby cantina, drowning his sorrows in Rigelian whiskey and muttering about how his species should have just stuck to honest piracy. As for the human legal team, they were already on their way to their next case, representing a small mining colony that had received a parking ticket for leaving their asteroid in a no-stopping zone. After all, someone had to keep the galaxy honest.